So you're thinking about booking a cruise with Virgin Voyages? Well, here comes a whole bunch of things you need to know before you do. Like if you didn't know yet, it's adults only. That means no screaming kids, no crazy parents yelling at their kid because he's acting a fool. I understand that most cruise lines are for families and all this stuff and you just have to tolerate it and you have to live with it, but kids are crazy. And when you turn the parents loose, parents can get crazy too, but in a whole different way. So before we jump into the rest of the list, I wanted to tell you that we did cruise on Virgin Voyages last summer. We have a whole bunch of videos on the channel you can click back to and see, because I'm Jeff and my girlfriend Chelsea says hi. And we really do believe on Detours that the journey is the destination. So the first thing is, when you're booking the cruise, on their website, it is not listed per person, PP. Yeah, it's listed per cabin. And then you say, oh, this other cruise line has the same basic cruise, but it says only like $4.99 a person. There are a lot of reasons for that, and Virgin kind of doesn't nickel and dime you and doesn't piecemeal it. It's more all-inclusive than most others. And why I'm making such a big deal out of this pricing structure is because of the next couple things I need to tell you about this. So unlike other cruise lines, when you see $2,000 on Virgin Voyage, that's your price. So we're gonna kind of break this down, comparing it to other cruise lines I have cruised with. So you book the cruise and say it's $600 per person. So that's $1,200 for two people for the cabin. Then they add $300 for taxes and port fees. But then next up on the list is you have to decide if you want to pay your tips and gratuities in advance. On most cruise lines, this normally works out somewhere between $20 and $30 per day per cruiser. We'll just do a 5-day cruise like Virgin was. That would be $100 for me and then $100 for Chelsea. And now your $1,500 cruise is now $1,700. Yeah, Virgin Voyages pretty much says it right on their main page. Gratuities are already added into the price of your cruise. They are paying their people to serve you. They're not asking you to pay, hey, come on a cruise and then pay our staff afterwards. And on a side note, I could even talk about how gratuities are getting gratuitous in the United States of America. But that's for another day. The next thing you're gonna find on Virgin Voyages is that they do not have a drink package. Whoa, some people are like, what? No drink package? All right, when you go to your local bar and you're hanging out with your partners, is there a drink package? Can you walk in and say, here's 40 bucks, cover all my drinks? This is how it works. You basically buy a bar tab. You say, I'm gonna give you $300. That's my initial bar tab. You're gonna go up and swipe that wristband and pay for your drinks. When you run out, then it'll be attached to your credit card and they'll just charge you for anything over $300. I have also seen if you book a cruise and some of their specials, they will give you a free $300 bar tab. I have also seen bigger ones where they do $300, get you $600. So we had $300 to spend on drinks on the ship in 5 days. Just so you know, the average cost of a drink on the ship is somewhere between $6 and about 12 bucks. So now you're responsible for your drinks and all that fancy stuff, and that's over. Let's move on. While on other cruise lines, they are going to be doing a drink deal that's like, say, $54 a day per person. We'll just say 50 times 5 days is $250. And if one person in the cabin gets it, the other one has to also. So that would make it $500 for your drink package. And then you still have to pay taxes and gratuities on top of that. Just add another $100 to that. So $600. You're starting to see where this is going, and we're not even close to being done. But the next thing, all cruise lines have a buffet, have a main dining room, maybe 2 or 3 main dining rooms, and maybe 1 or 2 other options for everybody with your cruise fare to eat. This is where they say, hey, we have 7 more restaurants that are really nice and really fancy. And those restaurants you can book for $35 or $50 per person to go eat there. They are called specialty dining. You can easily buy a package, say 2 of them for $99 per person. Now we're at $2,500 if you just added 2 meals on a 5-night cruise. And then, by the way, they add an 18% gratuity and you have to pay the taxes on that. Here's where Virgin differs again. Because Virgin Voyages, every restaurant on the ship is yours. All you have to do is book your night. Now, there is one little rule we did find out about. You can book a different restaurant all 5 nights, and you can go for absolutely free. You don't have to worry about extra gratuities. You don't have to worry about any of that. And so you go eat at the different restaurants, and say on the first night you fall in love with one, and on the last night you want to go back to it. The one little silly rule is you have to go ask, and they're only gonna seat you if they have the space for you, if it's available and easy to them, because they wanna leave those open spots for cruisers that have not eaten there yet. But with that many options, we never went to the same place twice, nor did we want to. And if you really want it and you go like tell them, look, I ate here the first night, I really wanna eat here on the last night, they're gonna try to fit you in. They're gonna make an effort. And by the way, the service and the effort they put forth on this ship was amazing, but we'll talk about that at the end. You need to know that all of your food on the ship is included. They're not going to be asking you to pay for specialty dining once you get on board. The next thing you need to know about Virgin Voyages, it is not the average cruise line. The kind of events and shows that they put on are very adultish. Meaning they have a drag show, and it is great. We caught the second half of it one night and we had to see the rest. So we went sit front row, center. They don't have a problem cursing a little bit. They don't have a problem with adult style jokes. Event staff just come out and do dance parties in like hallways or in some part of the ship that you didn't even know a party was gonna exist. But if you're really into old style cruising and very family oriented things and you're not interested in the wild and crazy, maybe not the ship for you. But don't think it's so overblown crazy. It's not. You can find tons of places to relax and chill with not a lot's going on, or you can be in the middle of all the action where the most insane stuff's going on. Now, another thing you need to know about is the parties at night are a step above pretty much every other cruise line I've ever been on. But the one thing you need to know about for Virgin Voyages is they have a red night where the whole ship turns red. It's really called Scarlet Night. Everybody wears red, and there's a monstrous party on the pool deck that's pretty much like a performance, a dance party, a gathering, because everybody gathers there like an hour before and starts mingling and drinking and having a good time. If you're gonna go on this ship, you better bring a red shirt, and you gotta go to Scarlet Night. It's the best party on any ship I've ever been on. If you're not into the giant parties like that, downstairs in the main atrium, there is other like live music and events like that, or you can go into some of the restaurants or bars and just chill and relax with friends. Next thing you need to know about Virgin Voyages is there's only 4 ships as of right now. 2 of them are out of Miami, and then 2 of them are out of Europe doing the Mediterranean and other things over there. So if you're a big time cruiser and you've been on a ton of cruises, this cruise in my mind is not the actual destinations of where this cruise is going to. The cruise itself is the destination. And I'll be the first to say that I sometimes book cruises because of the destination. And if I ever go on a Virgin voyage again, it is completely because it's a Virgin Voyage ship. So that's kind of a different mentality than when I'm booking with any other cruise line. Tell you I cruise on MSC, most of my memories take place off the ship, at the destinations, at the ports of call. So just letting you know, with only 4 ships, how many options could you really do? And while we're talking about destinations, they do have a private island, kind of. Bimini is in the Bahamas, and then in the Bahamas, they have a private resort at Bimini. Now, what's really cool is it's all-inclusive. So your food there is on the house. Your drinks worked with your bracelet, and that just goes to your bar tab like normal. And it's got some good, nice beaches, and it's got a big pool, and it's got a bunch of cabanas, and it's everything you get at any other all-inclusive. I'll be honest, not the greatest place in the world. It is beautiful, it is fun, but I would never say it's the best place on the planet. Nor do I think Virgin Voyages has the best destination options. Just wanted you to know, I still say go on a Virgin Voyage. And then another thing I wanted to tell you about, I'm honestly thinking it's beating some of the other cruise lines when it comes to technology with the push button curtains and the push button lighting and all the fun jazz. The technology kicks butt on this ship. And your internet is included, where that might actually cost you like $99 per person or $99 for 2. We'll just say $100. So at the end of the day, I could go on a Virgin Voyage for $2,000. I think that is the biggest selling point about being all-inclusive. Virgin Voyage is the only cruise line right now that do all-inclusive. None of these other lines that are made for the mass public always have add-ons, and they're trying to get you to spend more money constantly. Virgin Voyages is gonna blow your mind. And I'm telling you, when you see this cruise ship, that's probably the most beautiful cruise ship I've ever seen. It looks like Ferrari to me. All 4 ships are pretty much identical. So that's one of the small things that might hold me back a little bit from booking another one, but we will be booking another one. And if you wanna see which one we book next or which cruise out of all the cruises, yeah, well, you're gonna have to subscribe and see what happens next. Later.